Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to this lesson. Today, we'll be practicing a lot of questions of critical reasoning and sentence correction. We'll go through the questions one by one. What I've done is just to make it, a little more interesting, just to make it a little easier. I have mixed up the questions so that we don't solve uh, n number of critical reasoning questions in one go or n number of sentence correction questions in one go. I've mixed it up so that the tonality of the session keeps on changing. Tonality of the session keeps on changing. Yes. I guess that is very important because otherwise it tends to get a little bit boring because the language is tough. Therefore, our mental space kind of takes a hit if we solve a number of critical reasoning or sentence correction questions in one go. uh, I'm counting on that. I'm counting on mixing it up, making it a little more interesting for us. Before we begin, I would like to, as always, give you an introduction of the Unacademy platform. Unacademy, my friends, is perhaps India's largest learning platform today when it comes to preparing for competition exams. And this particular channel is pertaining to management exams like CAT, GMAT, NMAT, ZAT, and the likes. I am Prankur Arora. I am going to be your instructor for verbal aptitude and reading comprehension on this journey. I'll cover various concepts of verbal aptitude and reading comprehension, verbal ability and reading comprehension. I have been a trainer and a coach for a couple of years. I've, I've consulted with a lot of huge organizations like Marico Limited, Becton Dickinson, Interglobe Air Transport, and the likes. I've consulted with them on various aspects of communication, be it verbal communication, be it non-verbal communication. Right? I've done that with these organizations. I'm also a published author. I wrote this book. It is a work of fiction called It's Not Funny. This book was launched a couple of years back. You can find it on Amazon if you are fond of reading, that is. And the book was, it was widely regarded as path-breaking by the likes of, humorists like Biswapati Sarkar, Papa CJ, I also hold advanced certifications in facilitation. Facilitation is the methodology of leading participants on an instructing on a learning journey. So I hold advanced certifications in facilitation from an organization called Leadership Management International. LMI. It's an American organization. It's based in Texas, in the USA, and it is perhaps the world's largest organization when it comes to transformational leadership. I run a production house as well. It's called Tamasha Entertainment, where we do a lot of theatrical and film related engagements. That is where I basically take care of my creative juices, if you will. Now, when we are preparing for any competition exam, there are two things that are very, very important. One is the pedagogy that we're following, and the second is how are we, who are we learning from? Yes, because a chemistry with an educator is very, very important, and an academy, it takes care of both of these things because the pedagogy that we follow on our platform, it is highly engaging, which becomes a bottleneck when it comes to virtual learning, but an academy platform takes care of that because the pedagogy is highly engaging, and the educators on the platform, like myself, educators, uh, they're highly credible people. They're people who are authority on these subjects. On the platform, we offer you daily live classes. We conduct live tests and quizzes. We conduct live polls where you get to participate in those polls while the lesson is going on, and you stand a chance to feature on the leaderboard if you get the answer right. Courses on the platform are structured, they're up to date, they're audited by subject matter experts, and with one subscription, you get unlimited access to anything and everything. As I mentioned, the educators on the platform are highly credible people. You can participate in a live class for free and then decide for yourself whether this is something you know you you might be interested in adding to your learning journey or not. Batches and courses keep on coming up on the platform on a daily basis. So, right, even if you join today, everything that came before today, the recordings of it all are available on the platform for you. So, you don't really miss out on anything. Language isn't a barrier because we have educators who teach in vernacular languages as well. You design your own schedule on the platform, right? Because you have that entire ownership of your learning journey. You set up your own schedule, you decide what are the kind of classes I want to enroll in, who are the educators I want to learn from. And once you've done that, we send you those push notifications, we send you those timely reminders so that you don't really miss out on anything. A really cool thing about the platform is that it allows you to interact with your educator in real time. We hold discussions, doubt clearing sessions, and all that happens in real time. Now, a really important thing about any learning journey is the ability to evaluate our performance and then adjust accordingly. We give you all those analytics, we give you those in depth insights into your performance, insights like topic wise scores, the time you're spending on every question, right? Things like these, they help you tweak your learning journey based on your performance, which is very important. Now, coming to the subscription model, you can clearly see that as the time period of your subscription goes up, the cost per month is going down dramatically. And preparing for competition exam is a long journey, right? It has a lot of gestation period, even when it comes to developing the comfort level with your educators. So, I would recommend that you opt in for a longer journey, a 6 month, 12-month, or a 24-month journey, so that you give yourself that comfort level, you give yourself that opportunity to develop that comfort level. Plus, if you use my name, which is Prankur, first name Prankur, you get an extra 10% off on any of the subscriptions you opt in for. Now, let's begin. We are beginning with a sentence correction question. I'll read it out and then I'll give you 60 seconds to uh, understand what the question is asking you, and then I'll lead you into the solution. In a previous design, the weight of the discus used in track competition is concentrated in a metal center, but now it is lined with lead around the perimeter, thereby improving stability in flight and resulting in longer throws. Take 60 seconds and then I'll lead you into the explanation. Right. So I'll give you a hint. Now this is a question that this is a question which is testing your verb form and pronouns. Right. So choose your answer accordingly. Another 60 seconds and then I'll explain this question. For example, it is telling you about a previous design, and then it is comparing it to something that is happening now with the discus, right? So if we are drawing a comparison between what used to happen before and what is happening now, what used to happen before has to be in past tense. So when it comes to in a previous design, this will have to be in past tense. Yes, I've given you another hint. Now see whether this helps you, right? सबसे पहले you can eliminate all the options that are not in past tense when it comes to talking about the previous design of the discus. For example, option A, is concentrated in a metal center. is concentrated है तो ये past tense नहीं है, इसको पहले ही हटा दिया. According to a previous design, the weight of the discus used in track competition was, ठीक है, ये past tense है. Once designed, with its weight concentrated in a metal center, the discus used in track competition is now. Now, this is a different construction altogether, so we'll evaluate it later. The discus used in track competition, once designed with its weight concentrated in a metal. With its weight concentrated in a metal center is once again weird. The discus used in track competition was once designed. ठीक है, तो ये भी past tense है, तो इसको भी हम evaluate later करेंगे. तो सबसे पहले हमने दो options already eliminate कर दिए क्योंकि they were in present tense and they were not in past tense. When we're talking about something that used to happen earlier, we have to make its construction past tense. We have to be very cognizant and aware of the verb form. Yes. Right. Now let's look at pronouns. For example, when you look at option A, it says in a previous design, the weight of the discus used in track competition is concentrated in a metal center, but now it is. What is this it referring to? It is a pronoun, right? We are talking about the discus. We are not talking about um, the weight of the discus, right? We're talking about discus, but this it is referring to the weight. That is why the target of the pronoun is incorrect. तो ये ऑप्शन प्रोनाउन की वजह से भी एलिमिनेट हो सकता था. Let's look at option B. According to a previous design, the weight of the discus used in track competition was. अब ये past tense तो है, but we have a similar problem here. But now it is. This it is referring to weight, whereas this it should be referring to the discus. Yes, that is why we eliminate option B as well. Let's look at C. Once designed with its weight, this it should be referring to the discus. Yes, with its weight concentrated in a metal center, the discus. अब इन्होंने modifier construction दिया है, and this is sentence 1 comma sentence 2, right? If you remember the construction, and this entire modifier is modifying discus. Yes, and this it is referring to the discus, which is a correct construction. So this seems correct to me. Let me validate it with option E. The discus used in track competition was once designed having its weight concentrated in a metal center and now lined with lead around the perimeter. अब इसमें क्या गड़बड़ हो रही है? इसमें we are missing the main verb, right? We are missing the main verb because if you look at the underlined portion includes is, right? And if we are giving this construction was once designed, इसका construction क्या होना चाहिए? इसका construction होना चाहिए is now lined, right? Because then you'll have to make the two of them parallel. We have to make the two of them parallel if we are giving them this construction, right? तो ये parallel भी नहीं है, इसमें main verb भी missing है. We don't have the verb is in this option, right? So the main verb for the discus is missing, and therefore we eliminate option E. We're only left with option C, which was already looking correct to us, which was already looking perfectly fine, and therefore C is the correct answer. Yes. Let's move on to the next question now. We arrive at a critical reasoning question. Yes. Any of the following statements, if true about last year, helps to explain the rise in profit except. Now this is this is talking about this is talking about the construction of the argument. Yes. If true about last year helps to explain the rise in the profits except. तो मतलब आपके जितने भी options हैं, all of them are in sync with your passage save for one. Let's look at the passage. Contrary to earlier predictions, demand for sugarcane has not increased in recent years. Yet, even though prices and production amounts have also been stable during the last 3 years, sugarcane growers last year increased their profits by more than 10% over the previous year's level. Okay, now what are they talking about? Uh, they're talking about sugarcane profits. They're talking about profits when it comes to sugarcane, and they're telling us कि इन पांचों options में all of them, मतलब out of five, four options explain the rise in profits. One option does not. I'll let you go through the options, I'll let you go through the passage again, and then I'll give you the meaning of the passage before I delve into the options one by one. Yes, take 60 seconds to do that, and then I'll move on with the explanation. Right. So, what is the passage talking about? The passage is telling us that, the prices and the production amounts, prices and the production amounts are stable, right? Demand is also stable. Demand has not gone up. फिर भी जो शुगर केन ग्रोअर्स हैं, they increase their profits by more than 10%. So we are saying demand is the same, price is the same, production ka amount is also same. The production, that is also same. So all these three constraints are same. All these three constraints are same. Yet आपका profit बढ़ा है. So when these three things are same, how can our profit increase? Right? How can our profit increase? Our profit can increase by two things. Right? Profit can increase by two things. One where the cost of production is going down. मतलब आपका market price तो same है, but if the growers are saving costs while producing, then your profit margins are going up. Or if the consumption for some reason is increasing, then your profit margin is growing up. Yes, so these two reasons can increase your profit margin. If there is anything else that is not affecting your profit margin, then that will be your answer. All right, so go through the options again, evaluate which option is making sense to you and which isn't, and then I'll lead you into the explanation. Okay, I hope you've arrived at your answer by now. I hope you've arrived at your answer. Let's look at all the options. Let's start from here. Option E. Rainfall in sugarcane growing regions was higher than it had been during the previous year, allowing the growers to save money on expensive artificial irrigation. Now, what are they saying? They're saying that the cost of production went down because growers saved money. Because your cost went down and your price is the same, therefore your profit margin is increasing. Yes, therefore this can be a reason for 10% increase in the profits because your cost of production went down. So this is correct, right? Let's look at D. Many small sugarcane growers joined together to form an association of sugarcane producers and began to buy supplies at low group rates. So again, your cost of production is going down because now you're buying something in scale, right? Because now you're not buying something individually, you're buying something as a group, and when you buy something as a group, they're already telling us they're getting low rates. If they're getting low rates, their cost of production is going down and their profit margins will increase again. What I'll do is I'll erase this tick mark because ये लगेगा आपको कि ये आंसर का टिक मार्क है, ये आंसर का नहीं है. This looks to be a valid reason. This also looks to be a valid reason for profits increasing. Let's look at C. The price of oil, the major energy source used by sugarcane growers in harvesting their crops, dropped by over 20%. So again, the price of oil dropped. The price of oil dropped means your cost of production again went down, right? That is why your profit margin could have increased. Sugarcane growers have saved money on wages by switching from paying laborers an hourly wage to paying them by the amount harvested. This is again one of the reasons by which a profit margin could have increased, because they saved money. The cost of production went down again because they switched. Their payment methodology changed. Let's look at option A now. Many countries that are large consumers of sugarcane increase their production of sugarcane based ethanol. Okay. Yet their overall consumption of sugarcane decreased. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, आपका डिमांड सेम है, प्राइस सेम है, प्रोडक्शन सेम है, प्रॉफिट कैसे इंक्रीज होता? या तो कॉस्ट कम होती या कंजम्पशन बढ़ जाती. इधर क्या कह रहे हैं? इधर कह रहे हैं कि कंजम्पशन कम हो गई, consumption went down. So instead of increase in profits, this might have caused a decrease in the profits because your overall consumption went down. All right. So this looks to be the correct answer, because this does not explain the rise in profits. All other four, these four explain a rise in profit because they're talking about your cost going down. But this is talking about your consumption going down, right? So when consumption goes down, then your then your sugarcane ka profit is also going down, because you're not selling as much because the consumption is going down, right? So I hope you arrived at the same answer and that you're satisfied with this explanation. If you did not, let's move on to the next question, which is a sentence correction question. Along with the drop in producer prices announced yesterday, the strong retail sales figures released today seem like it is indicative that the economy, although growing slowly, is not nearing a recession. Take 60 seconds, solve this question, and then I'll move into the explanation. This is again, I'll give you a hint. This tests you on pronouns. Look at the target of the pronouns. Along with the drop in producer prices announced yesterday, the strong retail sales figures released today seem like it is indicative. What is this it referring to? The it is referring to retail sales figures. What is this? This is plural, right? Strong retail sales figures is plural. This it is singular, right? So your pronoun is not matching its target, right? The pronoun is not in agreement with its target. So सबसे पहले तो आप a eliminate कर दोगे because it is incorrect, right? I've given you this hint. Now figure out other rules that are being tested here. Right. I'll give you another hint now. Whenever we have seem, whenever we have seem, right, the expression of seem is only complete with an infinitive form of the verb. What is an infinitive form? What is an infinitive verb form? Infinitive verb form, sorry, infinitive verb form is to plus verb. All right, that is the expression of seem. तो seem के साथ हमेशा to indicate ही आएगा because we need an indicative form, we need an infinitive form. Plus when we are saying seem, we need the pronoun that, we need the pronoun that, seem to indicate that, राइट, एज इफ टू इंडिकेट द इकोनॉमी नहीं होगा, यहाँ पे दैट भी मिसिंग है, प्लस एज इफ टू इंडिकेट की जरूरत नहीं है. द एक्सप्रेशन इज कंप्लीट व्हेन वी हैव द इन्फिनेटिव फॉर्म. वी डोंट नीड एज इफ, we need the pronoun that. All right, and that is why C will be the correct option in this case. First we check the agreement of the pronoun that was already in use, and then we check the expression. With seem, we need an infinitive verb form, plus we need the pronoun that. ठीक है, seem indicative of the economy नहीं होगा. All right, seem like an indication of the economy नहीं होगा. Seem to indicate that. A simple construction, an infinitive construction with a pronoun. All right, let's move into another critical reasoning question now. Although computers can enhance people's ability to communicate, computer games are a cause of underdeveloped communication skills in children. After school hours spent playing computer games are hours not spent talking with people. Therefore, children who spend all their spare time playing these games have less experience in interpersonal communication than other children have. This is a question of assumptions. Yes, the argument depends on which of the following assumptions. So you have to basically check the construction of the argument. ठीक है, आपको assumption questions का method याद है? If you've attended my previous lessons on critical reasoning, you'd know that every argument like this has a premise, then it has a conclusion. ये trigger word है conclusion के लिए, therefore means your conclusion is beginning here. Premise and your conclusion. Now when we are tackling with assumption questions, what this means is that out of these five options, one of the options has to be true for this conclusion to stand, to stay put. Right, for this conclusion to work, one of these assumptions has to be true. तो एक सिंपल मेथड है, either this will come to you intuitively where you will be able to check the logical gap and identify कि ठीक है ये assumption है इस conclusion के लिए, और otherwise a very simple trick to tackle these questions is आप one by one सारे options को negate करो. Negate करना मतलब if it is a positive statement, turn it into a negative statement. Right, negate all these options. If by negating you land on an option which is directly impacting your conclusion, then that is your assumption. ठीक है, क्योंकि नेगेट करने में जो ऑप्शन आपके कंक्लूजन को अफेक्ट करेगा वही आपके कंक्लूजन को एक्चुअली अफेक्ट करेगा एज एन assumption. Yes, because as an assumption it has to be true for the conclusion to work. So if by negating it your conclusion is falling apart, then that means that is your assumption of the argument. All right, use that methodology if it does not come naturally to you, because that is a really cool hack to check assumptions. Use that methodology and in 90 seconds I'll give you an explanation. Alright guys, 60 seconds are up. Another 30 seconds and then I'll give you an explanation. Try to arrive at the answer quickly. Okay, let me give you an explanation to the of the passage first. What is the passage telling us? What is the premise? The premise is that computers can enhance our ability to communicate, but जो computer games हैं, they are a cause of great concern because उसकी वजह से बच्चों की communication skill नहीं develop हो रही. What does that mean? What that means is that the situation of the passage is that the computer games are replacing computer games are replacing or taking the place of your time that can be spent talking to people. So computer games actual physical communication को replace कर रहा है is what the passage is saying, is what the situation of the passage is. And then the conclusion is that children who spend all their spare time playing these games, they have less experience in interpersonal communication than other children. तो इन बच्चों से कम एक्सपीरियंस होता है एक्चुअल कम्युनिकेशन का, क्योंकि वो पूरे टाइम गेम खेलते रहते हैं. Now, let's check the assumptions, right? Let's check the assumptions. I'll give you another example for the assumption questions which I've given in the past in my other critical reasoning lessons. If you've not attended them, just in case, I'll give you an example. Right? Imagine that I have a car and that I have to go to the market. So I have a car is my premise, and I have to go to the market is another premise. Conclusion is that my and the other premise is that my car broke down. So I have a car, I have to go to the market. My car broke down. Therefore, the conclusion will be I can't go to the market. ठीक है, let me just repeat this. What is my premise? My premise is मेरे पास गाड़ी है. What is my second premise? मेरी गाड़ी चल नहीं रही है. What is my third premise? मेरे को मार्केट जाना है. Conclusion क्या है? मैं मार्केट नहीं जा सकता. Right? So what are the assumptions in this argument? The assumptions in this argument is that I cannot use any other means of transport to go to the market. That is your assumption. Because hey, my car broke down, but can't I go to the market on a bicycle? Can't I go to the market, by using a rickshaw or calling an Uber? Can't I do that? So my assumption is that I cannot go to the market using any other means of transport. I have to only use my car. And the second assumption is that even if my car broke down, I cannot repair the car or I cannot get the car repaired, right? That is another assumption in this argument. Similarly, you have an assumption when it comes to this argument. Your premise is that computer games are replacing talking to people, and your conclusion is that these children who play a lot of games, they are less developed in communication skills than other children. All right. So there is a big hole. There is a gap. There is an assumption that your premise is taking to reach this conclusion. And that assumption has to be true for this conclusion to stick. Now let's negate every option one by one and see which one is directly impacting your conclusion. All right. Option A: passive activities such as watching television and listening to music डू नॉट हिंडर है. इसको हम निगेट करेंगे तो नेगेटिव को निगेट करते हैं तो वो पॉजिटिव हो जाता है. तो हम क्या बोलेंगे? हम बोलेंगे पैसिव एक्टिविटीज सच एज वॉचिंग टेलीविजन एंड लिसनिंग टू म्यूजिक हिंडर द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स इन चिल्ड्रन. Right? So this is not affecting your conclusion. This is in line with your conclusion. Yes, this is in line with your conclusion. तो ये आपका assumption नहीं है. Let's look at option B. Most children have other opportunities in addition to after school hours in which they can choose whether to play computer games or to interact with other people. राइट. सो अगर हम इसको नेगेट करेंगे हम क्या बोलेंगे? कैन की जगह कांट हो जाएगा. मोस्ट चिल्ड्रन हैव अदर अपॉर्चुनिटीज इन एडिशन टू आफ्टर स्कूल आवर्स इन विच दे कांट choose whether to play computer games or to interact with other people. Right? So what are we talking about? We are now talking about other activities other than computer games and interaction with people. But the passage is only talking about these two things. So this falls out of scope. This is irrelevant. Yes. Therefore we eliminate this, क्योंकि इससे आपका conclusion impact नहीं हो रहा है. ये दूसरी चीजों के बारे में बात कर रहा है. Let's look at C. Children who do not, this is again negative, so negating a negative becomes positive. Children who spend all of their after school hours playing computer games spend at least some of that time talking with other people, right? So, what is this option telling us? Isn't this ringing some bells? This is telling us that you know what, these guys, they actually spend some of the time talking to other people. If they're spending some time talking to other people, then why will their interpersonal skills be lesser? And if you don't negate this, because now after negating, this is telling us कि भाई वो थोड़ा टाइम दूसरे लोगों से बात करने में भी बिताते हैं. Let's not negate this and let's look at this statement as it is. What is it telling us? It is telling us that children who do not spend their time playing games, they spend at least some of their time talking to other people. That is your assumption, isn't it? Because when you're comparing, देखो आप क्या कर रहे हो, आप one group of children is being compared with the second group of children. You're saying one group of children only plays games, therefore they lack in communication skills as compared to two. So now we are actually assuming that the children in part 2 are spending some time talking to other people, aren't we? That is the assumption. अगर मैं एप्पल्स को एप्पल से कंपेयर करना चाहता हूँ, मैं एप्पल्स को एप्पल से ही करूंगा ना, मैं ऑरेंजेस से तो करूंगा ही नहीं. If I am comparing the time that one group is spending when it comes to communication with the time that the other group is spending, I'm assuming that the other group is already spending some time talking to other people. मैं अज्यूम कर रहा हूं जो बच्चे गेम नहीं खेलते वो दूसरे लोगों से बात करते हैं. And by negating this, your argument is actually being impacted, your conclusion is already being impacted, because try negating this again. ये डू नॉट डू हो जाएगा. चिल्ड्रन हु डू स्पेंड ऑल ऑफ देयर आफ्टर स्कूल आवर्स प्लेइंग कंप्यूटर गेम्स spend at least, or rather, let's negate it otherwise. Children who do not spend all of their after school hours playing computer games don't spend. By negating this, you'll make it don't spend at least some of their time talking with other people. आई एम सॉरी, इसको हटा के इधर करोगे तो ये ज़्यादा सेंस बनाएगा. चिल्ड्रन हु डू नॉट स्पेंड ऑल ऑफ देयर आफ्टर स्कूल आवर्स प्लेइंग कंप्यूटर गेम्स don't spend, this is your main verb, don't spend at least some of that time talking with other people. And if you add don't here, then your conclusion falls apart, राइट? बिकॉज दिस मीन्स कि अगर जो दूसरे बच्चे हैं जो गेम नहीं खेल रहे हैं वो भी दूसरे लोगों से बात नहीं करते, फर्स्ट वाले तो बात कर ही नहीं रहे, तो इनकी भी तो कम्युनिकेशन स्किल गड़बड़ ही होगी. Are you getting me? Are you getting where I'm coming from? So this looks to be the correct answer, but still I'll validate it with the options D and E. Option D says formal instruction contributes little or nothing to children's acquisition of communication skills. Formal instruction is not in the scope of the passage. The scope of the passage is only video games and talking with other people. Therefore, we'll eliminate D. Let's look at E. The mental skills developed through playing computer games do not contribute significantly to children's intellectual development. Are we talking about mental skills right now? We're not talking about mental skills. We're only talking about interpersonal skills. We're only talking about communication skills. So this is also out of scope. Option C, my friends, is the correct answer. I'm sorry, I committed a mistake while negating this. We won't negate this because this is not the main verb. This is the main verb. And that is why we negate this. Yes, this is basically segmentation of the group. That is why initially it might have seemed a little leaky, but now I hope this is making sense. जब हम मेन वर्ब को नेगेट करते हैं तो आपका कंक्लूजन इज फॉलिंग अपार्ट ड्रास्टिकली. Yes, I hope you understood this explanation. Let's move into a sentence correction question now. Right. Emily Dickinson's letters to Susan Huntington Dickinson were written over a period beginning a few years before Susan's marriage to Emily's brother and ending shortly before Emily's death in 1886, outnumbering her letters to anyone else. I'll give you a hint because sentence देख के आपको बहुत लंबा लग रहा होगा. I'll give you a hint. Check for parallelism. Check for parallelism, right? Because you're talking about two things that are happening. You're talking about a time period. There is a beginning to that time period, there is an ending to that time period. I've given you a big, big hint now. Try and solve this, and then I'll give you an explanation. Okay, now what I want you to check for is what is the sentence telling you? The sentence is telling you that Emily Dickinson wrote some letters to Susan Huntington, right? So we are talking about the letters here. We're talking about the letters. This is your main subject. Yes, her letters are your main subject. So your subject needs a main verb, right? We'll check for that now. Emily's letters to Susan were written over a period beginning. Now we know when the period was beginning. Period beginning a few years before Susan's marriage to Emily's brother and ending shortly before Emily's death in 1886, outnumbering her letters to anyone else. Now, this outnumbering her letters, just uh, give me a moment. Yes. Outnumbering her letters to anyone else. This is not your verb, right? Your subject letters needs a verb. Outnumbering does not become a verb. Yes, are you trying to understand where I'm coming from? We are talking about Emily's letters. यहाँ पे आपका verb है. They were written over a period of time. That period began here and ended here. This is one verb. But then we need another verb to complete the sentence because otherwise the sentence looks incomplete. Try reading it again and understanding. क्योंकि यहाँ पर outnumbering her letters to anyone else आ जाता है ना, तो this is not referring to your letters directly, but it needs to refer to your letters. That is one, which is a little complicated as a rule. The easier rule is that your beginning should be parallel with your ending. So let's just eliminate all the options जहाँ पे beginning और ending parallel नहीं है. इसमें parallel है, ending and beginning. These are parallel. Begins and ended. ये ended और ये begins parallel नहीं है, so we eliminate option B. Option C, beginning and ends. This is again not parallel to beginning, so it gets eliminated. Beginning, ending. This is parallel. Okay. Beginning, ending. This is parallel again. Now we are left with three options. Now look at this. Outnumbering her letters to anyone else. Outnumbering does not refer to letters directly. Letters needs a verb. Therefore, we eliminate A. Let's look at D, which were written over a period of time. Okay, this which refers to the letters, yes, which were written over a period of time, beginning a few years before Susan's marriage to Emily's brother, ending shortly before Emily's death in 1886, and outnumbering her letters to anyone else. This is again not referring to your letters. And outnumbering her letters to anyone else नहीं होना चाहिए था, and outnumber her letters to anyone else होना चाहिए था, because then your outnumber refers to letters directly. This is not your main verb because this leaves room for another verb. in the sentence, because otherwise your sentence looks incomplete. Therefore, we'll eliminate option D. Let's look at option E, which refers to letters which were written over a period beginning a few years before Susan's marriage to Emily's brother and ending is parallel to beginning, yes, ending shortly up before Emily's death in 1886. Outnumber, letters is plural. This is a plural verb. This is a plural verb. This is correctly referring to your letters, right? Because the letters outnumber, these letters outnumber her letters to anyone else. So this outnumber is directly referring to your main subject, which is letters. Alright, that is why this looks to be the correct answer. I hope you understood this explanation. Let's move to another question, a critical reasoning question now. One variety of partially biodegradable plastic beverage container is manufactured from small bits of plastic bound together by a biodegradable bonding agent such as cornstarch. Since only the bonding agent degrades, leaving the small bits of plastic, no less plastic refuse per container is produced when such containers are discarded than when comparable non biodegradable containers are discarded. Which of the following, if true, most strengthens the argument? Now, this is an argument evaluation question. What do you have to do? You have to look through all the options and you have to evaluate which one supports your conclusion. Yes, which one supports your conclusion in the argument? Look for those options. Read it for another 90 seconds. Try and understand the passage and then try and understand all the options. And then I'll give you an explanation for it. ठीक है, आपका पैसेज क्या कह रहा है? आपका पैसेज कह रहे हैं देर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ कंटेनर्स, वन आर बायोडिग्रेडेबल, दूसरा है नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल. ठीक है, अब वो क्या कह रहे हैं? वो कह रहे हैं बायोडिग्रेडेबल कंटेनर्स जो होते हैं वो कैसे मैन्युफैक्चर होते हैं? वो प्लास्टिक को कॉर्न स्टार्च के साथ अटैच करके मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं. सो कॉर्न स्टार्च इज योर बॉन्डिंग एजेंट. नाउ व्हाट आर दे सेइंग? दे आर सेइंग कि जब आपका ये डिग्रेडेशन की बात आती है, देन दिस इज डिग्रेडेबल, दिस गेट्स this gets degraded, this develops into or this becomes your compost. But जो आपका प्लास्टिक वाला पार्ट है उसका और नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल प्लास्टिक का सेम लेवल का वेस्ट प्रोड्यूस होता है. Are you getting it? Are you understanding where I'm coming from? The passage says since only the bonding agent degrades. What is the bonding agent? Cornstarch is your bonding agent. Since only cornstarch degrades, leaving small bits of plastic, no less plastic refuse per container is produced when such containers are discarded than when comparable non biodegradable containers are discarded. वो कह रहे हैं इसके बाद जो प्लास्टिक बचता है उतना ही वेस्ट आपका नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल प्लास्टिक वेस्ट भी बना रहा है. तो वो कह रहे हैं कि बायोडिग्रेडेबल प्लास्टिक बनाने का फायदा ही नहीं है, बिकॉज इवन व्हेन कॉर्नस्टार्च एज अ बायो एजेंट गेट्स डिग्रेडेड इट लीव्स प्लास्टिक विच इज योर वेस्ट एंड दैट प्लास्टिक इज इक्वल टू नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल प्लास्टिक कंटेनर्स. तो वो कह रहे हैं बायोडिग्रेडेबल प्लास्टिक कंटेनर्स का बनाने का फायदा ही नहीं है, बिकॉज दे प्रोड्यूस द सेम नंबर ऑफ वेस्ट, द सेम अमाउंट ऑफ रिफ्यूज as a non-biodegradable container. Now what are they saying? They are saying out of these options ऐसा कौन सा ऑप्शन है जो अगर ट्रू होगा तो वो इस आर्ग्यूमेंट को स्ट्रेंथन करेगा. Alright, let's look through the options one by one. Yes, they are saying both partially biodegradable and non-biodegradable plastic beverage containers can be crushed completely flat by refuse compactors. Are we talking about crushing right now? We're not talking about, you know, the crushing ability of a compactor and how much a biodegradable is being crushed as compared to a non-biodegradable. We are actually talking about plastic refuse. We are talking about waste. We are comparing the waste of biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So we are not concerned with how much they can be crushed. That's why we can eliminate option A easily. Let's look at option B. The partially biodegradable plastic beverage containers are made with more plastic than comparable non biodegradable ones in order to compensate for the weakening effect of the bonding agents. Now, this I want to put on the back burner. Why do I want to put this on the back burner? Because understand ये क्या बोल रहे हैं, ये कह रहे हैं कि जो आपका बायोडिग्रेडेबल कंटेनर बनता है उसमें ज़्यादा प्लास्टिक यूज़ हो रहा है क्योंकि बॉन्डिंग एजेंट आपका वीक होता है. तो बॉन्डिंग एजेंट आपका वीक है और आपको कंटेनर बनाना है तो हम ज़्यादा प्लास्टिक यूज़ करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई हैव दिस बॉटल. Right now, this is a non biodegradable bottle. If this were a biodegradable bottle, what I'm saying is that I will use more plastic in a biodegradable bottle क्योंकि इसमें कॉर्नस्टार्च है और कॉर्नस्टार्च वीक है. तो मैं उसको कॉम्पेंसेट करने के लिए और ज़्यादा प्लास्टिक यूज़ कर रहा हूँ. अगर मैं और ज़्यादा प्लास्टिक यूज़ करूँगा इस बॉटल में तो मेरा वेस्ट भी और ज़्यादा होगा. राइट, मेरा वेस्ट भी उतना ही ज्यादा होगा. तो इस केस में तो भाई मेरा बायोडिग्रेडेबल बॉटल में और ज्यादा वेस्ट है एज कंपेयर टू अ नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल बॉटल. एंड दैट इज व्हाई दिस इज एक्चुअली सपोर्टिंग योर स्टेटमेंट. Right, because what was your statement, what was your argument? Your argument was that biodegradable plastic releases equal waste as compared to non-biodegradable plastic. This option is saying that in some cases that it is even more waste because you're using more plastic, right? So this is making logical sense to me because this is supporting the argument of the passage. Let us look at other options. Option C. Many consumers are ecology minded and prefer to buy a product sold in partially biodegradable plastic beverage containers rather than in non biodegradable containers, even if the price is higher. हम प्राइस की बात कर ही नहीं रहे हैं, हम प्रेफरेंस की भी बात कर ही नहीं रहे हैं. प्राइस एंड प्रेफरेंस आर आउट ऑफ स्कोप, therefore I'll eliminate this. D. Manufacturing process for partially biodegradable plastic results in less plastic waste than manufacturing process. We are not comparing the manufacturing process. We are comparing the waste that is left after consuming the bottle, after consuming the plastic. So we are comparing कि भाई जब मेरी ये bottle use हो जाएगी and when I throw this, right, then what happens to it? Then what happens to it? Does it get degraded or not? All right, so we're not comparing the waste of manufacturing process. That is why we eliminate D. Let's look at E. Technological problems with recycling currently prevent the reuse as food or beverage containers of the plastic from either type of plastic beverage container. We are not talking about technological problems, right? We're not talking about technological problems when it comes to recycling of biodegradable or non biodegradable. All right, that is out of scope again. B is making the maximum sense to me because B is telling me कि हम बायोडिग्रेडेबल प्लास्टिक में और ज़्यादा प्लास्टिक यूज़ करते हैं तो हमारा और ज़्यादा वेस्ट निकल कर आएगा. All right, so B looks to be the correct answer. I hope you landed on the same answer. If not, I hope you've understood my explanation. Let me move into another sentence correction question. This is the last question of the day, guys. This is the last question. Dressed as a man and using the name Robert Shirtliff, Deborah Sampson, the first woman to draw a soldier's pension, joined the Continental Army in 1782 at the age of 22, was injured 3 times, and was discharged in 1783 because she had become too ill to serve. I'll give you a hint right away. This is a parallelism question. This is a parallelism question. All right. And I'll give you another hint in 1 minute. Try and solve it till then. If you're not able to solve it, I'll give you another hint in 1 minute. चलो अब मैं आपको हिंट देता हूँ. सबसे पहले whenever you get long sentences like these, if you remember the rule of modifiers, modifier does not impact the sentence. Modifier, if you remove the modifier, your sentence makes perfect sense. तो इसमें हम modifier हटा देते हैं because this is a very long sentence. So dressed as a man and using the name Robert Sherlock, this is modifier number one. Remove this. The first woman to draw a soldier's pension is modifier 2, right? Now you are left with your subject, Deborah Sampson. What did Deborah Sampson do? Deborah Sampson joined the Continental Army. This is number one, joined the army. What is number two? She was injured in three times. What is number three? She was discharged in 1783 because she had become too ill to serve. Right? So there are three things that Deborah Sampson did. Deborah Sampson joined the army. Deborah Sampson was injured. Deborah Sampson was discharged. Right? Now just look at all these three verb forms. All these three look to be uniform to me. All these three contain simple past verb forms. कौन सा टेंस है? सिंपल पास्ट टेंस है, राइट? सिंपल पास्ट टेंस. Deborah Sampson joined the army. Deborah Sampson was injured. Deborah Sampson was discharged. So there are three things that Deborah Sampson did. All these three things happened in the past. All the verb forms are uniform and they are parallel with each other. Remember जब भी आपका parallelism का केस होता है, जो आपका subject होता है, जो भी आपका this is a list of three things that she did. So every element of this list applies equally to your subject Deborah Sampson. तो आप क्या कर सकते हो? आप इसको इंडिविजुअली यूज करके देख सकते हो कि आपका स्ट्रक्चर सेम बन रहा है या नहीं बन रहा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, Deborah Sampson joined the army. Deborah Sampson was injured. Deborah Sampson was discharged. So this looks uniform to me. This seems to be the correct answer, but I'll validate it with all the other options as well. Deborah Sampson joined the army. Deborah Sampson was injured. Deborah Sampson while being discharged. This while being discharged is not parallel with was injured and joined the army. Therefore, I eliminate B. Deborah Sampson joined the army. Deborah Sampson was injured. Deborah Sampson and discharged. Being. So this and discharged is not parallel with was injured and joined. Alright, that is why I'll eliminate C. Plus यहाँ पे ये जो being आया है, this is again not making any sense at all. Being too ill to serve. No. This is past perfect for a reason. She had because वो पहले बीमार हो गई थी. Discharge वो बाद में हुई, पहले वो बीमार हुई थी. If you remember the rule of the tenses, when you have past perfect and simple present, simple past in the same sentence, that is because past perfect applies to the action that happened before. This came before. She became ill first and then she was discharged. Alright, let's look at D. Deborah Sampson joined the army. Deborah Sampson injured three times में यहाँ पे verb missing है. Was injured is necessary. Therefore we eliminate D. It is not parallel. It is not uniform. Having been injured is again a different tense. So we eliminate E as well. A is the correct answer because the tense is the same and the verb form is the same. Alright. So this wraps up our session for the day, guys. This wraps up our session for the day. I hope you've had fun. I hope you've had quite a lot of fun. Go through this video again. Practice everything that we've covered in this video. Right? When you're going through the video again, what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video when we come to the question. Pause the video when we come to the question. Solve the question again, and then play the question. Play the video to go through my explanation and see if our rationale matched or not. Alright, do that. I'll see you again with more practice questions. Till then, stay safe, guys, stay strong, and stay mellow. See you.